In this video, we're going to continue our discussion with adding and subtracting rational expressions. All right, so let's take a look at the next example. So we're subtracting rational expressions with unlike denominators. That means we need to be able to determine what the LCD is first. But before we do that, we must factor each of the denominators. Well, x squared plus 7x plus 10. Factors of 10 that add up to be 7, that's 5 and 2. And then looking at x squared plus 6x plus 5, factors of 5 that add up to be 6 are positive 5 and 1. So the LCD here is x plus 5 times x plus 2 times x plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite. The only difference is I'm going to write each of the denominators in factored form. Now, underneath, I will write each fraction with the LCD. Okay, so what factor is missing in this denominator that is in this denominator here? Well, that's x plus 1. So multiply the top and the bottom by x plus 1. Distribute. What factor is missing in this denominator that is in my LCD here? Well, that's x plus 2. So I'm going to distribute. Now, I'm going to rewrite this as one fraction. But remember, I need to distribute the negative to both terms. So when I do that, I get this. Combine like terms. Now, I'm going to factor out a negative 1 from each term in the numerator. Now, notice when I do that, I have a factor of x plus 5 in the numerator and a factor of x plus 5 in the denominator I can divide out. And we are now done. Okay, let's take a look at the next example then. So again, the first thing I need to do, because the denominators are not the same, is to determine the LCD. In order to determine the LCD, I must factor each denominator. So x squared plus 6x plus 9 factors to be x plus 3 times x plus 3, which is the same thing as x plus 3 squared. X squared minus 9 is a difference of 2 squares. That factors to be x plus 3 and x minus 3. Now, my LCD. Notice, each denominator has a factor of x plus 3. But remember, if they share a common factor, we take the highest exponential power. So 2 is bigger than 1. So the LCD will be x plus 3 squared times this factor here, which is x minus 3. Okay, so now I'm going to rewrite these two fractions, but again, I will write them in factored form. Okay, what factor am I missing here that is in my LCD here? Well, that's x minus 3. Multiply top and bottom by x minus 3. So on the side, I'm going to take x minus 3 times x plus 2. I'll FOIL. And that simplifies to x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, What factor am I missing here that's in my LCD here? I'm missing one factor of x plus 3. So I'm going to distribute. Okay, now I can rewrite it as one fraction. Combine like terms. Okay. Now, I'm going to factor out a 2 from each term in the numerator. Okay, but there are no factors of negative 6 who add up to be a positive 4, which means I cannot factor the numerator any further, meaning I cannot divide out common factors from the numerator and the denominator. So we are done here.